Bonjour YouTube, bienvenue dans cette nouvelle VOD de Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. Aujourd'hui on continue nos petites aventures. Je vous cache pas que j'ai oublié où on s'était arrêté. Il me semble qu'on allait combattre... Non, bah non, on va même pas combattre ce truc. Je ne sais plus où on en est. Ah si, c'était la scène avec le tank. On a croisé un tank et on va combattre le tank. Ok, c'est bon. J'espère que vous avez retenu les plaques d'immatriculation, les amis. Parce qu'on va en avoir besoin aujourd'hui. La plaque d'immatriculation du camion. Voilà, écoutez. Allons combattre un tank, j'ai envie de vous dire. C'est parti. Hop. Non. Non mais t'embête pas, Mahogany. En vrai, je vous cache pas que je me souvenais de la plaque d'immatriculation. Je la connaissais. Il n'y a donc aucune... Ah vous voyez, ma sauvegarde perso elle est devenue rouge parce que j'ai fini le jeu. J'ai quand même fait 20h52. Ah. Alors... Putain, les chiffres sont très bas du coup. Le PIM est super bas par rapport à mon autre partie. Oh là là, j'ai rien développé encore. Non, Sonica, c'est de la merde, j'en ai pas besoin. Il y a plein de trucs qu'on va pas développer en priorité parce que vous verrez, c'est nul. Donc j'allais roter et puis c'est pas venu. Je me suis dit, il vaut mieux que j'évite de vomir du café chaud sur mon micro. C'est parti. Hein? Vas-y Kaz, explique-moi tout. Ah, c'est pas lui. Amanda, comment détruire un char?
An enemy tank. Is there somewhere you can hide, boss?
There are train cars, but they won't hold up against a gun like that.
Even a freight train? Incredible.
But they keep me out of sight, temporarily.
Use them to look for an opportunity to hit its treads or the fuel tank at the back. But
don't forget about that gun, huh?
Or the soldiers. They may try to flank you.
Right.
You can also stop it by taking out all the soldiers. You can do it, Snake.
Alors je vous cache pas qu'on va tenter la même tactique qu'avec le blindé, avec le LAV là. On va prendre les nachos à la place. On va prendre la grenade fumigène, c'est plus intéressant. C'est un peu béton, un peu herbe, cette map là.
Survival.
Vas-y, on va essayer ça. C'est parti. Et on croise les wads. Ça va être tendax, les amis. Je me souviens que ce boss-là, dans ma première partie à l'époque, j'ai mis longtemps. J'ai mis des heures à le battre. Et là, dans ma partie récente, je l'ai battu. Vraiment, sans trop de difficulté. Je suis mal placé en plus. J'avoue, il est pas con, j'aurais dû prendre des trucs de... Je sais même pas si je les ai, les trucs d'approvisionnement. Ok, on a déjà endormi deux mecs. Oui, tu as des visions. Ok. Oh là là. Ok. Bon, il n'y a plus qu'à attendre que tout fasse effet. Sans doute le vent. Non mais t'as été piqué par un moustique, mec. On est au Costa Rica quand même. Alors j'ai un petit bug avec mon stick. Si je suis accroupi et que je vais à droite ou vers le bas, je ne peux pas. Ça fait comme si je poussais seulement légèrement. Voilà. Je ne sais pas pourquoi. Je sais pas d'où vient ce bug. Ok, j'ai que 10 Fulton. C'est pas beaucoup. Et ce bruit-là, c'est les nouveaux soldats qui arrivent. Oh putain. Ah putain, ils sont arrivés par là, je pensais pas qu'ils arrivaient de ce côté. Et merde, et merde, et merde. Bon. C'est pas grave, on va s'en sortir. Oula. Ah, j'ai chaud au cul. Vraiment j'ai entendu crier fire, j'ai vu le canon, j'ai dit oh merde. Oula. J'aime bien la voix des pilotes avec le haut-parleur, là, ça sonne super bien, je trouve. Ah oui, il en a rien à foutre, hein. Il va tuer ses potes si ça l'aide à me tuer. Ils ont aucun scrupule. Heureusement, la PSP est un système avec ses limites. Et les... comment ça s'appelle ? Les wagons ne peuvent bouger qu'une seule fois. Oh, j'ai une bonne zone de défense là. Écoute, il nous reste 2 Fulton, on va l'utiliser sur au moins 2 soldats. Laisse-moi tranquille. J'avais oublié que ça pouvait tourner très très serré un tank. Ils sont partis les autres? Yes. Oui, je peux. Merde, 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 merde. Let's go.
The enemy leader's out cold. Bring him in.
Victoire. J'aurais pu récupérer un gars de plus. C'est dommage. Ce genre de boss, plus tard, ça va être beaucoup plus difficile parce qu'ils ont des escortes beaucoup plus larges. Il y a beaucoup plus de monde, beaucoup plus de renforts en fait qui peuvent arriver. Là, j'ai eu de la chance. Genre le premier, le blindé que j'ai battu la semaine dernière, il y avait 2 escouades. Lui, on en a vu 3, je crois. 2 ou 3. Oh, rang S. Oh là là. Let's go le Mosin Nagant.
Snake, the truck is headed up the mountain road past the tunnel.
So it was nukes after all.
What now? Their main base is up ahead.
I better hurry after them then.
But,
Kaz, if I don't get moving, it'll be too late.
all right, I guess you never did let dangerous assignments or risk aversion get in your way.
Non.
How do I get inside the mountain? I can forget about the tunnel.
Yeah, the tank took care of that.
Any other routes?
Why don't I let a local expert take over?
Chico.
You need a way into the mountain?
Yeah, got one.
Let's see. Do you remember that precinct I was in?
In the village, right?
Right. Go back to the village and head north. There is a bridge that connects to the mountain road. It crosses over a gorge. That's probably the best way. But there is a little problem. The path heading north from the village is barricaded. You might have to break through.
Got it.
The heart of Irasu. That's where the enemy's base has got to be, Snake. And maybe...
Let me guess. The Basilisco.
You don't believe me, do you?
No, I mean, we'll have to see.
Snake, Irazu features a number of crater lakes. The Odeberg government had planned to use those lakes to construct hydroelectric plants as one of its big state development projects. The project was scrapped, but there's still a small opening at the bottom of the lake.
Meaning?
I checked the satellite imagery, but didn't see anything man-made, which means they probably built a base inside the mountain. Could just be a storage igloo for explosives, or maybe some kind of research facility.
What do they hope to accomplish by bringing the nukes there?
First things first, get past that barricade north of the village. Looks like the only way through is the noisy way. You'll have to blow it up.
Ok. On a notre cap. Alors, le Mosin Nagant. Ça, c'est une arme qui vaut le coup. Une grenade fumigène, c'est bien aussi. Pas maintenant. Ah, les rations et le curry, c'est bien. Pas maintenant. Ça, on peut. C'est bon. Ok.
Snake, I've got just the explosive to bust through that barricade. C4. We finished developing C4 charges. Take some with you. To destroy the barricade north of the village, you'll need Composition 4 explosive. You've handled C4 before, right, Snake?
Yeah. I've been a regular user since the days of C3.
C3. Oh yeah, I remember. That stuff got brittle and useless in cold temperatures, so they upgraded. C4's a moldable plastic explosive. It's very stable and won't explode without a special detonator. Light it on fire and all it does is burn.
A lot of American soldiers in Vietnam used to use it as fuel.
Place it near the barricade and move to a safe location. Then hit the detonator button to blow it up.
I'm on it.
Je me souviens du petit cœur en C3. Oui, et le petit papillon aussi. Il a réussi à attraper.
Those giant footprints near the terminal. What do you think they were, Kaz?
It beats me. They're way too big, even for an elephant. Made me think of that basilisco Chico was talking about.
Hope it's not for real.
Same here. If they really do have that kind of weapon, we could be dealing with a basilisk in more than just looks.
What do you mean?
There's a medieval encyclopedia that describes the basilisk like this. The basilisk is the king of snakes. All snakes fear the basilisk and flee at its sight, lest they be slain by its foul breath.
A snake to take out a snake, huh?
I don't mean to scare you or anything, but it never hurts to be careful.
Will
King
do.
Kong. Peut-être c'est King Kong, on sait pas, hein.
When the enemy spots you and goes on alert, they may call in a backup strike team. These assault teams are heavily armed, well-trained, and highly dangerous. Amanda's crew calls them commandos. Unlike the patrolmen, these guys will actively, relentlessly track and hunt you down like hounds.
Hounds to hunt a former foxhound. Bring it on.
They won't give up easily even if they lose sight of you. They'll clear out any likely hiding places they come across. So don't get too comfy in one spot, or you might get caught again. Keep your eyes fixed on them and what they're doing. Also, be aware that commando gear includes body armor, so don't think you can deal with them by going in guns blazing.
All I've got to do is find an exposed weak point, and...
Exactly. There's one type of commando you really need to watch out for, and that's the kind toting shotguns. They can take a few hits and still keep charging you.
J'ai hâte de les
And
croiser.
believe me, you don't want them closing in between those shotgun blasts. When they start charging, you need to stop them immediately. Use something with serious stopping power.
Genre mon MK22, le Hush Puppy là, ça marche?
Amanda, do I have to take the fork in the road back to the village?
People say there is a shortcut. Go back to the coffee factory entrance, then follow the path on the right. That will take you straight to the village. They may have increased security in that area, though.
Not surprising after what happened with the tank. What do I do once I'm back at the village?
Destroy the barricade at the north side. From there, you can reconnect with the transport route.
I'll need C4 for that. The explosion will bring everyone running, too. There's probably going to be a fight, one way or the other.
They might not see you if you stick to the narrower pathways. Then just climb over any obstacles. Don't let your guard down after taking out the barricade either.
There's a river in the mountains north of the village. You'll see a water pipe running across that's got a walkway you can use as a bridge. I guess they built it to carry water from the hydroelectric plant. To get there, though, you gotta get past the barricade north of the precinct.
Got it.
El Basilisco supposedly lives in the gorge up there, so be careful you don't get distracted and fall in the river.
The Basilisco.
Not the big monster I saw. I mean, the real Basilisco.
A real one. The legendary king of snakes.
More like a lizard, I guess. It walks on top of the river.
A lizard that walks on water.
Man, you should see it. It's not that big, though. Only about 1 bada long.
Pretty good size for a lizard.
Yeah, but not nearly as big as a dinosaur.
So there's a real Basilisco that lives in the river?
I'm only saying I heard stories from people who said they saw it. But I know lots of places to find it in Nicaragua. Do you want to go have a look?
I don't have time for sightseeing.
You don't like lizards?
It's not that. I just think snakes taste better.
Who said anything about taste?
How about you? You like them?
Not that way. They do look kind of like dinosaurs, though. You don't think that's cool?
They're both reptiles, yeah. But there's a big difference size-wise.
I'll bet there are
Ah, mais
still
vampires
big ones
existent
around
encore.
somewhere. They say mammals multiplied and ate up their eggs. But they can't all be gone. They've gotta exist somewhere out there.
Dinosaur eggs, huh?
And animals are always evolving, right? Maybe they evolved so much, They don't even look like dinosaurs anymore.
Then you can't really call them dinosaurs, can you?
I guess not. Yeah, you're right. Dinosaurs have got to be big. Snake, legend has it, a place called Isla del Monstruo is near Costa Rica.
Isla del Monstruo.
It was discovered in the 18th century by Caribbean pirates sailing over to the Pacific. And the island in Treasure Island is based on one near Costa Rica, too.
Ah, Treasure Island. I remember reading that.
You've read it, too? Ah, that makes things easier. In Nicaragua, we too have a story about a group of pirates that encountered a flying monster out at sea.
Monstre en
Some even
espagnol.
say they landed on this monster island, though we still don't know exactly where it is. That's the reason I've always wanted to come to Costa Rica.
Ha! I see.
Ooh, I heard another story about a talking cat that
Mais
lives
tu dis
somewhere in
n'importe quoi,
Costa Rica.
Chico.
They say it'll take you to this place.
Interesting stuff.
Want to know more about the island?
Maybe later. If I'm headed that way, you can fill me in.
Okay, just let me know.
Tu dis n'importe quoi. Attends. On est dans Monster Hunter ou quoi?
Snake,
J'avoue. Vas-y, j'ai envie de savoir des trucs sur lui.
Amanda's so bossy. It's always follow me or stay here. The other day she told me, chew your gallo pinto before you swallow. Can you believe it?
Knowing your sister? Yeah, I can.
The enemy could strike at any time. I can't sit around taking my sweet time eating. I'm a Sandinista, just like the others. I don't need some woman telling me what to do.
Oh!
Some woman. She's your sister, and she's doing the best she can to fill your father's shoes.
I know,
Sois pas
but
misogyne.
lately she hasn't been doing so good. I should be strong for her.
Now you're talking. Sorry to hear about your dad.
Don't be. He is a guerrilla warrior. We pledge our lives to our country and its people. I'm ready to die too if I have to.
You sure?
You better believe it. Like mi viejo used to say. Patria o muerte.
Che said
La
it
patrie ou la
first.
mort.
My dad used to tell us all kinds of stories. About General
Je parle espagnol.
Sandino and his fight against La Guardia. About my mom before she left us.
You didn't want to go with her.
It's not like that. La Revolucion comes first, that's all.
La
You
révolution.
must wish you could see her, though.
I don't know. But I know I'll see her again when this is all over. Somehow, I just know it. When I do, me and my mom and papa are all going to live together again.
On va lui faire refaire un tour en Fulton, ça va le calmer. T'inquiète, il y a un moment dans la saga où il va avoir droit à... Pardon.
Now,
Hang in there, Chico. Your sister needs you.
okay.
T'inquiète pas, il y a un moment dans la saga où il va avoir droit à un voyage en hélicoptère pas piqué des hannetons, si j'ose dire.
Have you ever heard, shoot, coward? You're only going to kill a man.
Oui.
Che's last words. He'd been captured in Bolivia and said it to the soldiers just as they were about to execute him.
El Che. He was something,
Les
wasn't he?
coronesses pour dire un truc
Coming up
pareil.
with a line like that knowing he was about to die.
After the Cuban Revolution, Che gave up his position in the new government to aid in revolutions in other countries. He knew he could die at any time, and he was ready for it.
Me? I couldn't even take a little torture.
But you've been reborn as an hombre nuevo.
Un homme nouveau.
Right, Chico?
Right.
Hombre nuevo. Un homme nouveau. Nouvel homme.
Don't you ever get lonely, living away from your mom?
Not really. My compas are my family now. A lot of them are from the same village as me.
So you had plenty of people to take care of you.
Take care of me? I'm a warrior, like any other Sandinista. We look out for each other. That is how it works.
Sorry. Guess I misspoke.
Now we're scattered because of that colibri. Wonder where everybody went. Hey, Snake. If you see any Frente prisoners, please, you gotta get them out, okay? Those guys are solid, every one. You could use them in MSF.
Mec, tu as 12 ans.
Hey, Snake. Are there any jobs
Tu
for me
t'appelles
here
petit
at Mother
garçon.
Base? I can do anything.
You don't have to work, you know.
Don't treat me like a kid. I'm a man now.
Okay, then.
Un hombre
what are you
nuevo.
good at?
Let me think. Everything. Put me on any team. I can pull my own weight.
Well, you are young. You'll probably be a fast learner. I'll think of something.
Anything you need, boss. You'll see. I can fight as good as anybody.
Ah merde. Attends. Est-ce que je l'ai mis dans une équipe même? Je sais même plus. Oui! Il est au renseignement. Allez.
Snake, I've got just the explosive to bust through that barricade. C4. We finished developing C4 charges. Take some with you.
Ça roule poteau. Alors. Et on va prendre un marqueur d'approvisionnement, ce que j'avais oublié de prendre tout à l'heure. C'est très bien, le marqueur d'approvisionnement. Ça va nous être très utile. C'est pas là, mais dans les combats de boss notamment, c'est essentiel.
Go back to the prison camp. It's in the village where they were holding Chico.
Ah mais il faut l'activer aussi. C'est comme ça marche comme le C4. Je vais te montrer. Et du coup tu peux le poser en prévention et l'activer plus tard si tu veux. C'est là l'intérêt.
Fulton recovery helicopter is complete. Fulton recovery subject confirmed on board helicopter. Fulton recovery helicopter is...
Je vais le faire à la fin de cette map. Oh, let's go. Les headshots de super loin, là. On est là. Oui, c'est ça. Heureusement qu'on peut les évacuer depuis l'intérieur des bâtiments. Dans MGS5, c'est plus possible. Il faut les emmener dehors. En même temps, là, on peut pas bouger les corps des gens. Je pense que c'est pour ça aussi. Et les maps, il y a des maps qui n'ont pas d'extérieur. Mais dans MGS5, ouais, t'es obligé de les mettre à ciel ouvert. Je suis fan de moi, hein. Je tire vraiment très bien. Merci. Merci beaucoup. Vous savez, c'est la routine. Non! Il s'est mis à marcher au moment où je tirais. La PGM. Ouais, donc mettons là, bon, c'est pas très utile parce que j'ai encore beaucoup de balles, mais mettons je veux récupérer du matos. Je pose mon marqueur, là il est inactif. Je peux m'en éloigner, je peux me mettre où je veux, je peux même en poser d'autres. Et comme le C4, j'appuie sur la touche de tir sans viser, et ça fait ça.
They've okayed your request for a cardboard box. It'll be sent out shortly.
Voilà. Et donc ça active la plus ancienne, donc la deuxième elle est pas active. Et ça me lâche 3 ressources. Bon, j'en avais pas besoin. Mais ouais.
Head west from there, and it'll take you straight to the prison camp.
Dans les combats de boss, c'est essentiel. Genre, tu peux vraiment pas t'en sortir si tu fais pas ça. Par contre, j'aurais dû changer de treillis.
If you cut across the prison camp, you'll find a gate leading north.
Oh putain. J'ai eu beaucoup de mal sur le prochain boss sans ça, du coup. Bah, oui, j'imagine bien. Le son, s'il vous plaît. J'aimerais le son. Donnez-moi le son.
What a thrill.
Attendez. Qu'est-ce qui se passe, là?
What a thrill.
Oh là là. Bon. On risque de pas avoir de son jusqu'à la fin de l'émission. Et une fois qu'elle sera finie, ben, je relancerai le jeu. Non mais non, je peux pas. Je vais avoir besoin du son. Tant pis. On la recommencera. Faire une petite sauvegarde pour être sûr quand même. Voilà. Hop. Je sais pas pourquoi ça fait ça. Ça arrive. C'est normalement plutôt rare. Buvez de l'eau. Un maximum. Vous pouvez m'excuser pour cette interruption. Nous reprenons la programmation habituelle. Allez.
Snake.
Je vais en profiter pour prendre un meilleur camo. Il me manque Ocelot. Ocelot, vous allez le revoir. Mais pas dans ce jeu-là. Ouais, c'est pas grave, ça. Sale piou-piou. T'inquiétez pas, il va revenir. Il est dans Metal Gear Solid 5. Et il fait une entrée incroyable d'ailleurs.
Go back to the prison camp. It's in the village where they were holding Chico.
Ah, moi aussi j'ai hâte.
Fulton recovery helicopter is complete. Fulton recovery subject confirmed onboard helicopter. Fulton.
Chute, case. Non, l'enfoiré. Eh ben... J'ai pas réitéré l'exploit.
Head west from there, and it'll take you straight to the prison camp. The gate's on the northwest side of the prison camp. Cut across the camp to get there.
We're under attack!
Conne.
It's the enemy! Send reinforcements!
Negative. We can't spare reinforcements. We'll have to make do with what you have.
It's the enemy. I need help. I am Russian. Qui m'a vu? Je suis littéralement invisible.
Hey! What the? Hey!
Endors-toi. Merci. J'ai plus de Fulton. J'ai plus de Fulton, j'ai plus de silencieux sur le flingue.
This is HQ.
This is patrol! Target lost! Going to alert status!
Understood. The enemy should still be nearby. Find him.
Ah merde. Est-ce que je suis obligé de
First,
poser le
equip
C4
your
ici?
C4. You can't plan
Je vais
a
être
charge
obligé de le
unless it's
tuer.
equipped.
Désolé mec.
Good work, Snake.
Non, ils ont un petit champ de vision. Désolé.
Excellent. Now, make your way north.
C'est pas grave, c'est pas grave. Ça va juste baisser mon score pour cette mission. De toute façon, je pouvais pas embarquer d'autres personnes. Ah putain, j'aurais pu finir la mission tout à l'heure. Bon, tant pis. C'était pas malin de dormir là, non?
Snake, you there?
Yeah, what's up?
You've got to talk to Amanda.
What happened?
She wants to leave sickbay and get back
Ah
on the
non.
battlefield, but she's not fully healed. She's still in crutches. Who'd be crazy enough to try and fight like that? You have to talk some sense into her.
Is she with you right
Madame,
now?
t'as le fémur
No, she's
cassé.
in sickbay. She keeps shouting about how she doesn't want to be there. She won't shut up about it. She's driving me.
Let her go.
What?
If that's what she wants, let her go.
Snake, t'es
I'm
bête.
really not in the mood for jokes, Snake.
I'm serious. Let her go.
Why? So she can come back in a body bag?
I'm really not in the mood for jokes, Kaz.
What are you talking about?
Amanda isn't the type to just sit around in sickbay. She has a sense of duty. Her purpose in life is to fight. The battlefield isn't just the best thing for her, it's the best thing for her compass too. She'll be a huge morale boost that can only benefit MSF.
You think so?
You're good at fighting,
Mais
Kaz.
Snake, elle a la
One of the
jambe
best.
cassée, qu'est-ce que tu veux qu'elle
There's a lot
fasse?
to learn when it comes to people.
So, where should I put her?
I'll think it over and find a team for her. Don't worry, she won't let us down.
Whatever you say, boss.
Tu veux qu'elle aille combattre? T'es fou? Tu es pas bien, toi. Alors... Ouh, on a la M60, c'est très bien la M60. T'inquiète Amanda, je vais te mettre quelque part dans un lit à l'infirmerie. Tu crois pas si bien dire Keltika. Allez, bim. Démerde-toi avec ça. Alors... La M60, on l'a récupérée. Oui, on l'a, d'accord. C'est pas juste on a récupéré les plans, on l'a. La M60, ça va être notre meilleur ami contre les boss, hein, sachez-le. La M60 est le lot. La meuf a un mental de zinzin. J'ai la ref. C'est Seb la frite, quoi. La meuf, c'est littéralement Seb la frite. J'ai envie de l'appeler Amanda la frite.
Snake, you're north of the village. The truck carrying the nukes is heading towards the heart of the mountain. That's its final destination. We've got no intel on what lies beyond, so stay sharp.
Titre de la VOD, oui, je pense. Il y aura une petite tête de Seb la frite qui va se pointer quelque part. Alors, je vais rester sur ça. Parce que je connais les maps qui viennent. Je vais garder tout le matos. Allez, parle-moi.
Snake, to the north of the village is a bridge that crosses a hydraulic pipe. Though normally the bridge is not used by people, if you slip, you will fall straight to the bottom of the valley. Be careful.
What's a channel doing here?
It is not for irrigation. They are hydroelectric pipes. I wonder if they run into Irasu's crater lake. Normally they would build a reservoir at the bottom of the valley, but it was probably too dangerous. Los Cantos means Sword Peak. You should be able to see across the Irasu mountain range from there. There are not as many big trees at that elevation, and you will probably be well above the mist.
It'll be tough to hide up there.
You're not thinking about the scenery right now, are you?
Not while I'm surrounded by bad guys.
You should have seen it when the country was at peace. I know you would have been impressed.
Well, that'll be our reward for a successful mission. Sound good?
Wonderful. Thank you, Snake.
J'aime bien comme il te conseille à chaque fois de pas tomber du pont dès qu'il y en a un, comme si c'était une habitude de tomber. Bah, Snake, il a une histoire avec le fait de tomber des ponts.
What is it, boss? You sound upset.
Well, you see, it was built during the Civil War.
Let me guess. Disputes between Costa Rica's political parties escalated into all-out conflict.
See, conflict that cost my grandparents their lives. The most senseless sort of war. Countrymen mindlessly slaughtering their own. That fort is a reminder of that senselessness.
Sadly ironic, given who's occupying it now.
That war was the reason Costa Rica abolished the army. Please, Nick, get them out of our country.
I intend to.
Save Costa Rica. C'est arrivé une fois. C'est arrivé une fois, mais c'était une fois un peu décisive.
Chico says there's a bridge north of the village.
Yes, a narrow one, for crossing the pipe. On the other side of that is the road the trucks use, though it's collapsed in places.
I'll have nowhere to run if they spot me.
They could be blocking the road, too.
Is there another way?
There is a path along the cliff. After you cross the bridge, there are ruins of a fort on the mountain. Going through there would be a little easier. Once you come to the end of the mountain path, you'll be at the fort. That fort was built during the Civil War. It seems La Cia's troops are occupying it now.
This just gets better and better.
They've got gun turrets set up all around from the looks of it. Attract too much attention, and you'll really stir up the hornet's nest.
Maybe I'll try and find a way around.
You could always commandeer one of the turrets. A little target practice, perhaps?
Just like in Krasnogorye.
Krasno what?
Sorry, just thinking about old times.
Est-ce que c'est une façon bizarre de prononcer Groznygrad?
Irasu has more than one crater, because he's erupted so many times. I heard most of them filled up with rainwater and became lakes.
Calderas, huh?
Calderas? Yeah, something like that. Hey, I got an idea. When you get to the lake, can you keep an eye out for weird animals for me? People all over the world tell stories about giant monsters living in lakes. Nessie in Loch Ness, Nahuelito in Argentina, Ogopogo in Canada.
Nessie?
I can hardly keep track of them all. They say
You
that all these
nicknamed my
sightings
daughter
prove
after the Loch
dinosaurs
Ness
do
monster?
still exist.
But crater lakes are isolated. They're not connected to rivers.
Yeah, but you know Mokele Mumbembe in the Congo River?
Excellente
He can
prononciation.
walk on land. So maybe they moved there from some other lake.
You sure know a lot about UMAs.
There used to be a guy in El Frente who was a hunter. He taught me lots of things. He even said he once went to a place called Isla del Monstruo.
A hunter on Isla del Monstruo.
Someday, I'm gonna be a hunter and catch some rare animals. Right after we restore peace to our land, of course.
Il a une obsession, lui, avec ça. Vraiment l'enfant autiste avec son hyperfixation.
Did you ever hear of the Loch Ness Monster?
Now that one I know. Pretty much everyone's heard of old Nessie.
Great, so I don't have to explain. I think she's a long-lost dinosaur. Don't you?
Sure. Why not?
Chico
One of
regarde
the
des
Bompas
podcasts.
gave me a book about it, with photos.
Enregistre des cassettes.
It looks exactly like the plesiosaur.
Then why does it only live in Loch Ness?
Well, it probably got cut off from the ocean. Back when Loch Ness was part of the ocean, some plesiosaurs became trapped there when the climate changed. There weren't any mammals there, so no natural predators. Today's Nessie is descended from those plesiosaurs.
Then wouldn't it make sense for there to be monsters in other lakes with similar climates?
Exactly. That's why there's been giant monster sightings in a bunch of other places. Like Nahuelito and Ogopogo. I don't know if there's one in Irasu too, but I know there's definitely something living in Lago Cosipolca.
J'aime bien le fait que Snake, genre, il dit vas-y, parle-moi de ces trucs-là. Et il le prend au sérieux, il discute vraiment avec lui. Genre, il dit qu'il y croit pas, tu vois, mais il écoute quand même et il relance quand même la conversation.
You mentioned the Nahuelito. What is it?
It's a plesiosaur that lives in Lago Nahuel Huapi in Argentina. It's described a little differently, but I'm sure it's basically the same creature as Nessie. Except for one thing.
What?
Well, according to one theory, it's the result of a nuclear test back in the 50s.
What? There's no record of a nuclear test in Argentina in the 50s.
At the time, the president, General Juan Perón, was pushing hard to industrialize the country. I wouldn't be surprised if he conducted a top-secret nuclear test before he was overthrown in a coup.
Sounds a little far-fetched to me.
You think? Then maybe Nahuelito really is a dinosaur.
No, I didn't say that.
I mean, it's really pretty obvious.
Wait a minute.
Thanks for clearing that up, boss.
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
What about the Ogopogo? And what kind of name is that anyway?
Ogopogo's a monster that lives in Okanagan Lake in Canada. I guess it's an Indian name because it's a legend passed down by the Indians.
A legend, huh? Well, then it's probably not.
There's written records of it too. The first one was in 1872, and there's been more sightings since the start of the 20th century.
Uh-huh.
You starting to get into UMAs too, Snake?
Yeah, maybe.
UMA hunting. Now that's a real man's adventure. What do you say, Snake? After Nicaragua's at peace again, you want to go exploring together?
Well, we'll see. Might not be such a bad life.
Mokele Mumbembe lives in the Congo River. There's nothing mysterious about it, though. It's already been confirmed as a real living dinosaur. The local people know all about it, and when they were shown a drawing of a brontosaurus, every one of them said it was Mokele Mumbembe. When peace returns to Nicaragua, I want to go to the Congo myself.
Oh, the revolutionary movement in the Congo ended in failure, you know.
Yeah, I know. I wish we could do something to help, but Africa's awfully far away.
Africa.
Wonder if El Che ever saw Mokele Mumbembe. I wonder if I will.
Well, best to take care of business here before daydreaming about Africa.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Et c'est marrant parce que dans le prochain jeu, Snake il va en Afrique. Entre autres. J'attends qu'une certaine mission apparaisse en fait. C'est pour ça que je retourne régulièrement voir. Mais ça n'arrive pas. Mais je m'étais préparé. Comme GSV, il se passe en Afrique et en Afghanistan. En Afghanistan et en Afrique, plutôt, dans ce sens-là. En Afrique centrale. Et c'est près de la frontière entre le Zaïre et le Mozambique? Un doute. Je sais plus qu'est-ce que c'est votre pays. Oui. Fun fact, cet endroit là, cette route et ce cratère, enfin, cette plutôt gorge, y a plein de missions spéciales qui se passent ici. Attention, Snake, tombe pas du pont. Ce serait regrettable. Oh non, je tombe du pont! Ah, j'ai qu'à appuyer sur croix, je tombe. Il y a le sac à dos du mec dessus. Mais est-ce qu'on peut réellement tomber du pont? Ah oui, je pense, oui. Tu veux que je le fasse, c'est ça? En fait, ça me ferait un peu chier d'avoir un game over. Mais oui, on peut, oui. Techniquement, on peut.
Fulton recovery subject confirmed on board helicopter. Fulton recovery.
Non, non, le fais pas. Comment on fait déjà?
Their base should be beyond that transport route.
Ah putain, je sais plus comment on fait. Ah voilà.
You won't get up there alone. With some help, maybe?
Bonjour madame. La frente.
Oh, all right.
En vrai, j'ai trouvé juste avant que Keltica le dise. Sans vouloir me vanter. Non, non, non! Putain de merde!
Close by.
They've got rocket launchers.
Enemy sighted. Requesting backup.
Understood. Dispatching reinforcements now.
Mais merde, il va y avoir les connards avec les fusils à pompe.
Somebody's here. Enemies close by.
Je vais pas prendre les autres.
Fulton recovery subject confirmed on board helicopter. You have to get through that fort. Their base is beyond it.
Can't be imagining things.
Ah putain. Lui, à chaque fois, il me chope d'habitude. Quand j'arrive en haut de l'échelle.
Can't be imagining things.
Keltica qui carry. Kelty carry. Hello. Tu es libre. Je vais faire le tour un peu pour être sûr qu'il n'y a pas d'autres prisonniers. Les prisonniers sont évidemment prioritaires. Ok. Bon, je vais prendre des soldats. Et Tika, tu me diras si dans ce qui arrive là, t'as trouvé tout de suite ou pas. T'as vérifié un peu des trucs.
Guys, I'm inside the facility. There's rows and rows of trucks here.
If that's where they brought the nukes, then the truck we're after should be there.
Est-ce que tu as trouvé tout de suite le bon camion?
Can you tell which one of the trucks brought the nukes? One of them must have the same license plate as the one from the terminal.
Ah, donc t'as pas essayé les autres alors? Ok. Eh ben on va tous les faire sauf le bon.
Not this one.
T'as raté des easter eggs. Sache-le.
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
Notamment.
Mr. Kojima.
Ça c'est le bon.
Sunlight! Where are they?
140-96, vous connaissez ça? C'est Mailing.
Nothing.
Voilà. Et du coup, j'ai récupéré le personnage idéal. Il va être dans ma mother base.
This is the one. The exhaust's still warm. But the cargo's already been offloaded.
Just a minute. This isn't what we agreed on.
It's too late. The changes have already been finalized.
Putain, le
You
méchant.
told me it was going to be a deterrent, that we wouldn't have to launch.
I am not arguing with you, Doctor. Our goal is to create the perfect deterrent.
That's why I agreed to help develop it.
However, in order to achieve that perfect deterrent, we must show the world our strength. 3 key principles ensure effective nuclear deterrence.
Ah oui, tu vas voir que c'est un malus parce que c'est un bon perso en
First,
plus.
you must have nuclear weapons. Second, you must never use them first. And third, and most important, if someone attacks you, you must strike back. Unless we prove beyond a doubt that these 3 principles work in practice, the world will not accept our new deterrent. And the only way to do that is to show them we are capable of actually launching a nuke.
But isn't deterrence supposed to stop nukes from being used?
Exactly. And so the one we launch will be the last one ever.
I won't let you use my creation like that.
Your creation? That thing wasn't even your idea to begin with. You stole it, didn't you?
Stole it? You're one to talk. You got the idea for bipedal locomotion from the communists in the first place.
You listen to me, Doc. Keep quiet. Do as I say. Not another word about stolen ideas. Should we succeed here, you'll be the toast of the scientific community. And your name will go down in history as champion of both progress and national security.
The hell with that.
Doctor! Unless we prove we're capable of launching, Peace Walker is useless as a deterrent. You used me! We used each other. I'll get my old director's job back at headquarters. and you'll finally be able to walk tall among your colleagues.
I won't let you get away with this!
How unfortunate. Guess I'll just have to take your legs for myself.
Enfoiré. Ah, il est wasted là.
Peace won't just come to us, Doc.
Metal Gear.
We are going to have to meet it halfway. V for victory.
Mon dieu, c'est Hot Coldman. On est déjà dans Death Stranding.
Hey, you okay?
Don't do it!
Snap out of it. Where are the nukes?
He's gonna do it! He's gonna launch a nuke!
Ah, oh, c'est le nom du jeu.
Metal Gear.
C'est OG Otakon. Non. C'est pas Otakon. Otakon, il est pas né. Otakon. Oh putain. Le Chagorod. Pioupa. Et voilà le premier boss du jeu, le premier vrai boss. Idéo s'est enrôlé. Prochaine mission, tu vas en chier. Et du coup, on a Idéo qui est parfait en médecine et en renseignement. Et très bon en ingénierie. Donc ça vaut le coup de l'avoir. C'est un bon perso. Ça c'est pas important. Marqueur frappe, pas tout de suite. Le tonne c'est urgent. Ce caméo d'Idéo. C'est pas le dernier. Ouais, les médecins, ça peut être chiant. Ouais. Moi, ceux que j'ai du mal à trouver, c'est des bons ingénieurs. Ah, c'est trop. Il faut appeler ça alors. Isla del Monstruo. Il n'y a toujours pas ma mission, là.
Careful, Snake. I've never seen anything like that, and I've got no idea how to bring it down.
T'inquiète.
Maybe the scientist knows. However you do it, take that thing out.
Moi, je sais. TKT, bébé.
Pass. What was the government thinking, building a power plant at the top of a mountain? With no river to replenish the water, the lake would dry up pretty quick.
If it were an ordinary power plant. But the plan called for a pumped storage power plant.
Pumped storage power plant? Kaz mentioned that too. What is that?
It is a facility that generates electricity by pumping water up to the lake, then letting it run back down.
Huh. Seems Sisyphean to me.
If they turned the water into electricity as soon as they had pumped it up, sure. But a pumped storage plant acts as a kind of battery.
A battery?
For instance, they could pump at night, when there is surplus electricity, and store it for later use. If they need extra power during the day, they can generate it using water pumped up during the night.
I get it. It's a little more difficult to adjust output with thermal or nuclear plants.
The thing is, Costa Rica won't have enough electricity to meet its needs. Right now, there is no surplus.
Maybe that's what put the brakes on the project. Must have played right into the CIA's hands.
Ce jeu manque de poulpe qui rigole. Ah oui. Vous aurez pas des boss comme avant. Là, c'est vraiment que des mechas, les boss.
Watch out. It's El Galapago. It reduces its body weight by blasting air underneath it. That makes it a lot faster than any tank. It also has a tight turning radius.
Any weak points?
Taking out its boosters could reduce its acceleration. You could also try destroying its machine guns.
I'll give it a shot.
We've lost many compas to that thing. Send it to the scrapyard.
Mais en vrai, je trouve ça bien parce que les combats de Metal Gear, ça a toujours été assez décevant, je trouve. Et là, dans ce jeu, tous les combats de mecha sont vraiment bien. On va prendre un équipement minimal, comme ça on n'est pas trop lourd. Et c'est parti. On va défoncer le pupa. Alors pour ceux qui savent pas, le pupa, donc la pupe, une pupe c'est un peu comme un cocon. Voilà. Je vous le dis parce que le nom a son importance. Elle est légère, mais elle est là.
That's an AI weapon, the pupa. It's fast, so be careful.
Voilà, ça va bien se passer.
Aim for the cylindrical AI pod.
J'aime trop le fait que les IA elles chantent dans ce jeu. Bah, dis donc, il vise bien. Il vise bien votre pauvre pupa. Il est bugué ou quoi? Ah. Il m'a roulé sur la gueule. Je passer dans le tunnel.
They've okayed the request for support. They're sending out a cardboard box as we speak.
Oh putain! Je l'attendais pas. Let's go! On l'a eu. Merci.
Memory boards before the pod's ejected. The black memory boards are locked. Go after the boards with icons over them. You can unlock memory boards by destroying the mechanical components that they control. Any boards you remove can be used to build our own AI weapon. Memory boards have different functions according to the icons displayed over them. Go ahead and take whichever ones you want.
Done. Moi j'aime bien leur voix. C'est un peu effrayant mais c'est doux je trouve. Et pour le coup ça c'est un truc dont je me rappelais des années après, sans jouer, j'avais toujours les mélodies dans la tête, notamment celle-là.
That was an unmanned weapon. A prototype. I made it myself.
Who are you?
I work here. Well, used to, anyway. Name's Huey. And who might you be? You don't look like one of those mercenaries.
Me. I'm an entomologist.
A fighting entomologist?
Yeah, I specialize in butterflies. I'm here to catch Ulysses.
Ulysses? Huh. I didn't think they lived in Costa Rica. Morphos, maybe?
That's it. Need to get some before the Washington Treaty goes into effect.
It says here Morphos aren't covered under the treaty.
Must have slipped my mind.
You sure you're feeling all right?
Anyway, long story short, the butterfly got away. So how about it, Doc? Did you make that big butterfly too?
Yes. And no.
What was that thing? What are they doing here?
Huh. Something tells me you're no ordinary entomologist. The nukes were loaded on that machine.
Il vape.
The project's
Putain,
entering
c'est
its
ça que tu
final
parlais.
phase.
Il vape alors que ça n'existe pas à l'époque. Incroyable.
That's right.
Non seulement...
The thermonuclear
Attends.
warheads they brought in, the bases scattered
Non seulement ça n'existe pas à l'époque en 74, mais ça n'existe pas à l'époque où le jeu a été fait.
throughout Costa Rica, the mercenaries, the AI weapons, the research we were conducting here, it's all for this. We used this facility to develop unmanned weapons.
Unmanned?
Robots. The one you just fought was a pupa. There's also a flying type called chrysalis and a treaded type, the cocoon.
Donc c'est tous une chrysalide, un cocon,
Motor
une
control,
pupe.
target detection,
Un papillon.
tracking, attack, capture, and transport functions are all controlled by an electronic brain. There's no need for a human pilot. They can only follow simple commands, though.
Why build them here?
For the CIA,
C'est les armures de
they
Psychonauts.
invited me here a year ago.
That's who that guy was.
CIA's station chief for Central America. Goes by the name of Hot Coldman. Apparently he was some sort of hero back at the height of the Cold
Le nom
War.
le plus débile qui
He's the
existe.
one running the show. We called it the Peace Walker Project.
Metal Gear.
They're going to deploy a new type of nuclear weapon along the Caribbean coast of Latin America. A mobile, unmanned nuclear platform.
Unmanned nuclear platform.
A fail deadly system that can automatically move into position and launch a retaliatory nuclear strike. It can move on its own, and stealth shields it from radar and satellite detection, drastically reducing the risk of it being destroyed in a preemptive strike.
And this is the new deterrent?
Supposed to be. The problem is the locomotion system. There's no dry season in the Caribbean. It rains all year round. The terrain is full of tropical rainforest. A lot of the time you can't even build a proper road. So I went back to where it all started.
What's that?
Legs. Walking power. A mobile launcher carrying a thermonuclear warhead even more powerful than the Soviet RDS-220s. That's Peace Walker.
Chico's Basilisco.
We did the assembly and field testing here.
A walking nuke.
I sort of borrowed the original idea from behind the Iron Curtain.
The missing link between infantry and artillery. Metal Gear.
Metal Gear. But they'd actually need to deploy dozens of them. Coldman needs
Il a
funding
piqué les
for
plans de
that.
Granine.
And to get it, he's planning a test,
Enfoiré.
which will also serve as a demonstration for the folks back at Langley.
Wait, he's launching a nuke to prove that his perfect deterrent works?
In his words, to prove that if someone attacks us, we will strike back. Put simply, nuclear deterrence is the idea of using nukes to keep nukes in check. If one side launches nuclear weapons, the other is sure to launch theirs in retaliation, which makes launching an act of suicide. In the end, neither side can use its nukes. It's thanks to this doctrine that the world's two superpowers have avoided all-out confrontation. Nuclear deterrence has brought us peace. At the very least, it's prevented another world war from breaking out. But the theory of nuclear deterrence exists only on paper. In reality, there's no guarantee that either side would follow through with retaliation. There's the chance that a preemptive strike could destroy all the missile bases, render them unable to retaliate. But the biggest flaw in the theory is that the decision to retaliate has to be made by human beings. Let me give you a real-world example. Let's say Country X launches first against Country Y. If the people in charge of Country Y are like you and me, they're not going to be able to retaliate, knowing that they're effectively ending all human life.
So then the weak link in nuclear deterrence theory is the uncertainty of retaliation.
Bingo. And that creates a loophole Country X can exploit to launch the first strike. Which is why we designed the system to be unmanned. With Peace Walker, retaliation is certain. It chooses the appropriate target and launches a retaliatory nuclear strike every time, without needing human input to make the call. Launching a nuclear strike against Peace Walker is tantamount to pushing the launch button against yourself. It closes the loophole in nuclear deterrence theory, rendering our friends in Country X completely unable to launch. What Coldman is saying is that to achieve this goal, we need to demonstrate that retaliation will be carried out by a machine. He will launch his nuke. And then his version of deterrence will be complete.
And you believe him?
I believe in peace through nuclear deterrence.
Why?
My father worked on the Manhattan Project. He put his whole life into that research. And all it created was this illusion of peace called
La
deterrence.
cogne Oppenheimer.
And then I was born, unable to walk. I had no choice but to face up to the nukes. But if they do end up launching, it'll all have been for nothing. They've got to be stopped.
Where'd they take the warheads?
To a base near the border. The final test is 5 days from now.
Where's the base?
You're gonna stop them? It's kind of a hike. And besides, there's a surefire way to halt the project. You see, Peace Walker isn't quite finished yet.
What do you mean?
It's missing one last critical structural component. The AI. Its brain. The reptile pod, the electronic brain I was working on, can only follow commands like, go there, attack that. I guess you could compare it to the human cerebellum. But for nuclear deterrence to work, it must function in place of a human decision maker. It needs something to analyze the huge volumes of data coming in and select an appropriate target for retaliation. Hence, it needs the high-level decision-making ability of a cerebrum.
A mechanical cerebrum.
The hardware configuration is modeled on the human brain, similar to the pod I worked on, but its role is completely different.
Where's it being made?
A research lab to the north. An AI expert named Dr. Strangelove is developing it. Very hush-hush.
Dr. Strangelove.
C'est original.
Strangelove was recruited from the States, too. In the field of AI, there's no one better, that's for sure. But man, what a basket case. She hates everybody. Go to the lab and destroy Peace Walker's cerebrum. I'm pretty sure they haven't finished the final calibrations yet. I'll lend you my ID card. It'll get you through security at the lab. Oh, and one more thing.
What's this? A letter of recommendation?
Yeah, it's from me to Dr. Strangelove.
Probablement une obscure
Don't
référence.
read it, okay?
So what will you do now?
I'm done with science. At this rate, I'm probably already halfway to hell anyway.
Not so fast. Why not join us? Our place is outer heaven. You'd fit right in.
Outer heaven?
Yeah.
I'm probably better suited to something like that than this paradise.
Good. You get a free balloon trip for signing up. Enjoy it. You'll feel like a butterfly.
Alors,
You're an agent, right? Who do you work for?
Me? I was a Cold War tool, same as you. Now I'm not so useful anymore, so they cut me loose. I don't answer to anyone. Call me Snake.
Snake. That name seems familiar somehow.
It's probably just deja vu.
See that there? Beyond the cloud forest? See those ruins?
Yeah.
That's where you'll find Dr. Strangelove's lab.
fait que Chico arrête pas de parler de dinosaures et que celui-là ressemble à un proto-rex comme le dino, c'est un peu marrant du coup. Oui. Et en vrai, enfin pour lui, c'est un dinosaure la première fois qu'il le voit.
Snake, the doctor's safe here with us.
Huey, how are you feeling?
Never better. This is quite the pad you've got here, boss. I'm impressed.
Call me Snake.
Whatever you say. Like it or not, everyone here calls you boss. By the way, if you're at all interested in improving your tech, by all means assign me to the R&D section. I'm pretty sure I'll be of some use. Once we have the necessary materials and blueprints, we can start work on that bipedal mech.
I appreciate that, but are you sure you're okay with having your work used for war?
I'll be using it to keep past mistakes in check. If I can help thwart the Peace Walker project, I'm happy to do it.
Deterrence theory, Huey style, huh?
Anyway, if you need any intel on the enemy's weapons or electronic brains, contact me. I've been given my own frequency.
Sounds good to me, Doc. I'll do that.
Good. Whatever the means, you must put a stop to their plans. Hey, boss, you mind if we powwow for a sec?
What now? MSF brand rations?
Actually, that sounds... No. With all the men we have now, it may be time we started sending some of them to other countries.
You mean dispatching marks?
How else are we gonna keep feeding the crew we have?
I know. You're right.
Okay. To deploy troops, select Outer Ops from the Mother Base menu. If it goes really well, we might even get new recruits, weapon design specs, or leads on new missions. We can deploy any vehicles or large-scale weapons in our arsenal as well.
And if things don't go really well?
Yeah, we could lose men. I won't try and force you. You're the one calling the shots here, boss.
Beaucoup de choses qui se passent. Un gars qui a conçu un mecha qui lance des ogives nucléaires et qui finit par le regretter, et être Snake à l'arrêter, ça me rappelle un truc. Je sais pas ce que tu veux dire. Je comprends pas à quoi tu fais référence. Ok. On va remettre tout le monde ici. Et on va réassigner tout le monde. Hop là. Par contre, Amanda, toi tu restes là. Tu restes te soigner. Du coup, toi, tu t'étais arrêté là, Keltika? Ça suffira. Ok. Bah écoute, maintenant tu arrives en terre inconnue. Attendez, il faut que je vérifie quelque chose. Bon, de toute façon, je vais faire un petit tour aux toilettes. Donc je vais vous laisser 2 secondes. Je reviens. Ah. Je suis de retour. Hop là. Alors. Ce que je cherche, c'est la mission 29. Elle n'est pas débloquée.
Snake, Peace Walker is the heart of the enemy's project. To prevent its completion, you'll need to either shut down or destroy the artificial intelligence that functions as its brain. According to Huey, that AI is now undergoing final calibrations in Strangelove's lab. It's inside a tropical cloud forest. Slip in and terminate that AI before they ship it out.
Y'a quoi la mission 29? Bah je vais pas te le dire. C'est une surprise.
We've also confirmed that some of the enemies specialize in ambushes. Amanda's crew calls them scouts. They'll blend themselves in with the terrain and the vegetation. Then, when they see you, they'll swoop in. They fight pretty much like commandos, and will use clearing techniques to flush you out. In addition to wielding normal weapons, the scouts also carry wires.
Sounds like these guys know their CQC.
Could be. We've been getting reports of CQC attacks being blocked by wires. Stay alert.
Are there any large-scale ruins in Costa Rica, Paz?
There is a place east of Cartago called Guajabu. They have ruins there, but they're not especially big.
Not the place I'm thinking of. Any others?
Well, if you go a little way across the border into Nicaragua, there's a place called La Fortaleza de la Inmaculada Concepción. That is the only famous one.
Then what were those ruins I saw from up on Irasu?
There are a lot of things we still do not know about Costa Rica's ancient civilizations. There are giant stone spheres throughout the country. What they were used for is still a mystery.
Bloquer le CQC avec des fils. Oui, c'est un peu comme des cordes de piano. Et en gros, ils font des contres et après ils t'étranglent avec. Comme les frogs dans MGS4, où après ils te mettent sur leur dos et ils essaient de t'étrangler.
The cloud forests cover the central mountainous region of the country. They are perpetually shrouded in fog. You get wet just standing there. It is as if the entire forest is inside a cloud.
Must make for poor visibility.
It does, but beauty too. It is like being lost in some mystical green labyrinth.
I'd rather not get lost, if that's okay.
The forests are also home to lots of rare animals, especially bright-colored frogs. They like the humidity.
You know that butterfly painted on Peace Walker? Any idea what that is?
It is a morpho. A Pallades morpho, if I'm not mistaken.
Pallades morpho?
Uh-huh. It is the most common type of morpho in Costa Rica.
Huh.
It has these gorgeous metallic blue wings that shimmer in the light. You can see them even from a distance.
You mean they reflect light?
Correct. It is called structural color. Morpho scales have tiny bumps on them that interfere with the light and make them look blue. The space between the bumps corresponds to the wavelength of the blue light.
Let me see if I get this. So if you could change the spacing, you'd end up seeing a different color.
That is the principle. I heard somewhere it is being researched as a way to color cloth without dye.
Think of the camouflage you could make with that.
Is that all you can think of?
Hey, it's important. What I don't get is why they'd put a butterfly on Peace Walker.
Maybe because it looks pretty.
I hope that's all it is.
C'est une vraie patriote, elle connaît très très bien son pays.
This area is a tropical cloud forest, continually covered in a thick mist. It is quite a mystical place.
Selva de la Leche. Forest of milk. I can barely see in front of me.
There you go again. The forest is basically sitting in a cloud, so of course it's going to be hard to see. But you know, the cloud forest is the only place many exotic creatures can live.
Well, if they're not edible, I'm not interested.
Snake, I'll have you know people travel from all around the world to witness Costa Rica's unique fauna.
Merci Mathilka pour le Prime. Merci beaucoup. Merci, c'est très généreux de ta part. Merci pour les sous. Merci beaucoup.
Snake, watch out for the frogs.
Why? They bite? Relax. No frog's ever eaten a snake. Although, I've feasted on a few frogs' legs myself.
But they are dangerous. They are poisonous.
Poisonous?
Poison dart frogs live up to their name, I assure you. Their poison is so strong. The Indígena use them to make poison-tipped arrows. Some secrete poison through their skin. Even touching them can be dangerous. So don't go petting them or anything.
So... I can't eat one?
I am warning you.
From here on in, you'll be in a cloud forest. The ground is covered in vegetation. You'll have plenty of hiding places, but so will the enemy.
I'll keep an eye out for scouts.
Trying to force your way through would be suicide. Know the enemy's location before making any moves. Too bad you don't have some sort of radar.
I could try night vision.
Once you know where an enemy is, decide how you want to handle him. You could get into his blind spots.
Or drop him from a distance before he even has a clue someone's around. An eye for an eye, right?
Pourtant, la chanson, elle dit qu'il devait en manger. Ah, mais oui, mais pas dans celui-là. Pas dans ce jeu-là.
Chico, you know much about cloud forests?
Not that much. All I know is there's a world of difference between a rainy rainforest and a foggy cloud forest. But they have some things in common. Like, for instance, you gotta watch out for poison dart frogs. Both rain and cloud forests have high humidity, so they're perfect environments for frogs and other amphibians. I mean, it's not like just touching a strawberry poison dart frog or a dying dart frog is going to kill you, but don't eat them, no matter how hungry you get.
I can get all the rations I need from Mother Base. No jungle food for me this time.
Seriously? You're not disappointed you don't get to eat wild animals?
What do you think I am?
Just kidding. In Colombia, though, there's a frog, the golden dart frog, that's lethal to the touch.
How do you know all this?
Come on. Don't you think poisonous animals are cool?
Not if you get poisoned by one.
Well, obviously. One more thing. When you get to the forest, be on the lookout for Bigfoot.
I think I'll be okay there.
Allez, parle-moi de Bigfoot.
Bigfoot is an ape man that lives in the Rocky Mountains. In the local Indian language, he's known as Sasquatch. And get this, he's over 3 vara. Can you believe that?
So he's kinda like a gorilla?
Completely different. Even the biggest gorillas only get to about 2 vara, and they walk on their knuckles. Bigfoot's big, and he walks on 2 feet, like people.
So he's more man than ape?
Probably. His ancestors must have split off from humans at some point. Like before they started using tools and stuff.
Yeah, but aren't the Rockies kind of far away from here?
Not that far. According to Darwin, humans came all the way over here from Africa. Plus, there have been sightings in Venezuela of an ape man called Mono Grande. Costa Rica has tons of plant and animal species. So I'd expect there to be at least one kind of ape man.
At least.
Je découvre la chaîne, je follow depuis un raid de multi-stream, mais j'avais jamais pris le temps de lurker. Du coup, je viens de le faire. L'ambiance a l'air cool. Donc un peu tout... Merci beaucoup, c'est vraiment très gentil. Contente que ça te plaise, en tout cas.
Gotta admit, I've never heard of Mono Grande.
Yeah, he's not as famous as Bigfoot. He's similar, but he lives in Venezuela. He's not that big, less than 2 vara, but he's way more ferocious than Bigfoot. Huh. I wonder just how mean he is. Like when he catches his prey, does he punch it to death?
That's the law of the wild. You catch your prey, you kill it, and you eat it.
Yeah, but punching is way more ferocious than biting.
Well, maybe it seems that way because that's what humans do. You really love UMAs, don't you, Chico?
Do you know what I think? I think UMAs should be dangerous. Otherwise, where's the fun in hunting them?
Ah, c'est sûr que que le zébu, c'est pas fun, hein. Oula, 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 pas maintenant. Pas maintenant, Yui. J'ai envie de jouer. Pardon. Pardon. Allez. On va rééquiper des objets un peu plus appropriés. Ah, il débite, hein. Il débite, le mec. Attends. Alors, on va mettre... indicateur d'environnement, évidemment. Le Fulton. Les rations. Ça, c'est la base. Oui, c'est l'heure du goûter. C'est l'heure du goûter, les amis. Pensez à votre goûter. Ça, on va prendre. J'ai pas de lunettes à vision nocturne pour le moment.
Snake, how's the mule treating you?
At this pace, I should be there by tomorrow morning.
You've got to hurry. The AI could be completed any time now.
It'd be nice to have a guide.
Already on it. I've enlisted Pat to help you. She knows the jungle pretty well.
Snake, I know you are an expert in survival, but you need to stay alert. You are in an ancient jungle so foggy, you can hardly see the trees. It is home to 2,500 species of plants, including 400 types of orchids. There are also 500 species of butterflies and over 400 species of wild birds. The bedrock is solid enough that Mayan ruins have miraculously survived centuries of earthquakes.
An AI lab in a Mayan ruin. Who'd have thought, hey, Huey?
My sentiments exactly. That doesn't mean security's any less tight, though. You still have the ID card I gave you, don't you?
Got it right here.
That'll get you through the gate, no problem. After that, you're on your own. As long as the AI remains unassembled, Coldman's plan's on ice.
What about security inside the lab?
Well, it shouldn't be a problem for you. Strangelove demanded that the security presence inside the lab be kept to a minimum.
It's not all good news, Snake. Coldman knows we're here. He's raised security in the area surrounding the lab. You'll be seeing a lot of that Chrysalis UAV, and a bunch of patrol choppers too. There may be scouts in the jungle lying in ambush. As you approach the lab, be extra vigilant.
I'll be careful.
Wah, wah, wah. Wah, wah, wah.
They're looking for you. Stay sharp. Snake, Strangelove's lab is a few miles to the north. It won't be long before the AI is complete. Don't let that happen.
Il y a 3 minutes, il disait qu'il avait pas besoin de se nourrir sur les animaux sauvages. Écoute, c'est peut-être juste pour le kiff, ou peut-être que Chico lui a fait penser à ça. Il s'est dit, oh j'avoue, j'en mangerais bien un petit. Je mangerais bien un petit poisson.
Careful. If there's enemy scouts around here, they'll be nearly impossible to see.
Alors que moi, avec ma combi vert fluo, je suis bien visible. Putain, c'est dans le jeu. J'ai cru qu'il y avait des cigognes près de chez moi. J'allais dire, je suis pas du tout dans la région, ni dans la période de l'année.
Watch out. Enemy search may not spot enemies that are actively hidden. Fulton recovery to helicopter is complete. Fulton recovery subject confirmed onboard helicopter.
Bonjour, toi. Bleh. Fais dodo. Il était bien caché. C'est réel. Il va y en avoir des mieux cachés après. Voilà, là, la zone elle est quand même un peu plus massive. Allez, on va y aller doucement. Je vois une jambe là-bas. Je vais pas tirer avec le Mosin Nagant parce que j'ai pas de silencieux dessus. Mais... vu. Moi, j'aurais dû garder le treillis de base en fait. Là, il y en a un.
Fulton recovered a helicopter is complete.
Un prisonnier là-bas. C'est quoi? Ok. Je vérifie qu'il n'y en a pas un autre qui traîne quelque part. Ah ah! Knew it. Catarata de la muerte. La cascade de la mort. Ça, c'est un niveau que je redoute qui va arriver après ça. Oh, un petit morpho. Un morphopéléides. Let's go, combat contre un hélicoptère. Un hind. Comme liquide. A hindy. C'est un taré liquide. Piloter un hind par un temps pareil. Ah non, là ça va. Là il fait beau. C'est bon, y a pas de tempête de neige. Ah, j'aurais dû embarquer plus de soldats du coup. Snake nu.
Thanks for putting me on the R&D team,
Je t'en prie, oui.
I'll cut to the chase. We've commenced development on our own bipedal weapon.
Bah tiens.
The only thing is, we don't exactly have easy access to resources.
Je veux faire un Metal Gear.
Unfortunately, we don't have the budget of a defense department behind us.
I understand. That's why I want to ask you something. If you fight any more AI weapons, could you try to gather as many of their parts as you can? That would really make things go.
C'est ce que j'ai essayé de faire sur le pupe, mais ça n'a pas marché du coup.
Easier said than done.
If anyone could do it, you can, boss. You single-handedly took out the pupa.
True.
Look, if you're not interested, I can just work with what we have here. I'm not trying to force you to take unnecessary risks. You're the boss around here.
C'est moi.
Right. No promises, but I'll think about it.
Great. Also, each AI weapon has a head part that serves as the core of its armament. Recovering a head part will allow you to use the weapon associated with that part. But those guys won't go down without a fight, so don't get too preoccupied with this stuff.
Don't worry. I'm not about to risk my life for a bunch of scrap.
I would hope not. One more thing. Our new bipedal weapon needs a name.
Good point. We can't keep calling it our bipedal weapon.
I had a talk with Miller, and we came up with Metal Gear Zeke.
Metal Gear... Zeke?
Yep. As you know, Metal Gear was coined by Granin.
And Zeke?
It's a name the U.S. military gave to Japanese aircraft that flew during World War II. Zeke was the Japanese Navy's best fighter plane. So are you okay with that, Snake?
Sure. Fine by me.
Miller was saying that an army without borders will need a deterrent against other countries. He's right. With Metal Gear, MSF can achieve true independence.
Here's hoping.
Non, il est pas en train de faire les Metal Gear des deux premiers jeux. Je crois qu'ils ont pas été faits par lui, en fait. Il y en a un qui a été fait par le docteur Madnar, je crois. Et l'autre, je sais plus. Je crois que c'est pas Madnar. Et je sais qu'il y en a un des deux, c'est un sosie d'Albert Einstein. De la même manière que Big Boss dans Metal Gear 1, c'est un sosie de... comment il s'appelle? De Sean Connery. Mais non, c'est pas ce Metal Gear là. Alors, je vais vous le montrer une fois, ce truc là. Après, on le passera parce que c'est un peu long. Donc c'est automatique. Hein. Allez. OMG, on a le char en carton. Prairie Dog. On a recruté Prairie Dog. Incroyable à mes yeux. Alors. Hop là. Merde. Donc c'est à ça que servent les véhicules qu'on récupère. Non, ça passera pas. On va pas les envoyer les derniers. Alors, Metal Gear Zeke. Non, je ne veux pas le didacticiel. Bon, pour le moment, on n'a pas de pièces. Mais vous voyez la taille du hangar. Ah si, on a des pièces. On a des morceaux quand même. Pour l'instant, on ne va pas s'en soucier.
Snake, that's a hind. You've got to take it out somehow. Either neutralize the soldiers or bring down the chopper. Good luck.
Survival. Survival.
Catarata de la Muerte means waterfall of death.
Huh. How cheerful.
I am sure it will be no problem for you, Snake. Especially compared to all the dire situations you've faced in the past.
Yeah, easy to say now. We'll see what really happens.
Sorry. Still, you have surprised me. Everything they say about the legend is true.
I'm neither hero nor legend. But for some reason, I don't mind you calling me that.
Thanks. Be careful, Snake. Peace.
Don't even think about facing a chopper head-on. Guerrilla tactics would work well in a place like that. Moving from tree to tree will make it hard to get a fix on you from the air. That's your best chance.
Good thinking, Commandante. You clearly know your way around a battlefield.
Enough, boss. Time to stop talking and start using your ears. When you're hiding, you won't be able to see the chopper that well. It's important to use sound to get a read on its position. You could also try taking out its tail rotor. That would greatly reduce its mobility. And watch out for ground troops.
Copy that, Commandante.
On s'en fout, Yui. On va combattre un hélicoptère. Il y a un moustique à l'extérieur de la vitre. Ok, là ça va être difficile.
Eliminate that squadron, Snake.
Ça c'est des Fulton.
Make sure they don't.
Ça servira.
What is it? Someone attacking? The enemy's up! The enemy's attacking! Going to alert status! Someone attacking?
Tiens, on est repéré là? Oh merde. Damn.
Enemies close by!
Hop, reviens-toi. Vas-y, ramène ton escouade là. Allez. Merde. J'aurais dû couper mes rations. Calme-toi, madame. Ça va aller. Ok. On recommence. Ça m'étonne pas trop en vrai d'avoir perdu. Que nos cruce notre comandante. Le Snake demandait, il venait de ses entrailles. Ah ouais. Elle y a mis toutes ses tripes. Calmer toi. On va essayer de pas se faire surprendre tout de suite. Marde. Oh merci les enchaînements du CQC là. Oh, l'hélico il m'a pas vu. L'hélico il m'a pas vu, il sait pas que je suis là. maison. On y va tout doucement. On va être vu par l'hélico.
Bolton recovery subject confirmed onboard helicopter.
T'es merde, il m'a vu.
Enemies close by. Grenade! Go around!
À bientôt Mathilka, merci d'être venue encore. J'espère te revoir. Allez, on va y arriver. vous cache pas que plus de 10 ans après, je sais toujours pas exactement les conditions pour que le pilote sorte sa tête. C'est toujours flou, hein. Marde. J'ai plus de balles.
They've okayed your request for a cardboard box. It'll be sent out shortly.
Je sais lire le pare-brise. Si seulement. Je n'ai pas de fusil de paintball.
Alright, you hit the fuel tank. They won't be going anywhere for a while. So much for that tactic. You'll just
Déjà?
have to attack the thing directly. They've okayed the request for support. They're sending out a cardboard box as we speak.
Bon. Je pense qu'il ne va pas sortir sa sale tête. En tout cas pas maintenant. Donc autant faire du dégât.
They've okayed your request for a cardboard box. It'll be sent out shortly.
Oh!
That's gotta be the leader. Can you take him down?
Allez, let's go, on a fini sur un headshot.
That takes care of their leader. Recover him and it's mission complete.
Venceremos! J'appelle ça le swag. « 21 personnes, oh là là. Let's go, la tenue d'infiltration.
I got a report in from the R&D team. They finished plans for a new Hex-type plant, and today they're gonna start construction on the first block. Can't wait to finally say goodbye to this scrap heap. Only thing is, we don't have nearly enough GMP. We'll need to recruit more soldiers to get more
Écoute, je
GMP.
ramène 20 gars.
You know what to do, Snake.
21 gars.
Boss, I'm starting to wonder if recruiting the soldiers with a Fulton isn't a little heavy-handed.
I already don't like where this is going.
I think the voluntary approach could be more pragmatic. Technically, we're not a corporate entity, but at our size, that's not too far from the truth. We can't keep using guerrilla tactics to find new blood. To search for volunteers, select recruit from the menu, or select trade to exchange soldiers with other mercenary units.
Yeah, provided we've got the friends for that.
Ma grande malédiction, c'est qu'à l'époque, avec ma PSP, j'ai jamais trouvé personne pour jouer avec moi. Oui, mais on n'a pas d'avis, on n'a pas d'amis Snake. Ah, Falcon est mort. Oh no, c'est qui? Oh no, anyway. RIP mec random.
Let's get this mission.
On va faire une petite mission un peu osef. Abruti. Alors déjà, on va remplacer par le marqueur à pro. Projectile. C'est mieux. Et let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Peut-être la mission 29 se débloquera en faisant la mission 28. Incroyables effets spéciaux. Les gens ont raison de dépenser des sous sur ma chaîne Twitch. Moi je vous le dis. Hein. C'est un bon investissement. Des effets spéciaux à vous couper le souffle.
Fulton Fulton recovery subject confirmed onboard helicopter.
Bientôt 2 ans de sub et toujours aucun regret. Bah écoute,
Fulton
je suis
recovery
ravi.
helicopter
Merci
is
beaucoup.
complete. Fulton recovery subject nice. Now we've got to recover those supplies. Hurry. Yes. Now get over to the goal.
Il est où le gars? Oh putain, il est à l'autre bout du village. À l'autre bout du village de ses morts. Mais non, on vous tire pas dessus.
Dispatching reinforcements. Proceed with extra caution.
Là, je te tire dessus. Oui, le dernier gars. Ah. Tant qu'à faire, hein. Il nous reste un peu de temps.
Fulton recovery helicopter is Mission complete. Great job.
Merci beaucoup. Merci, Mother. Mother. Cass. Même pas rang S, quoi. C'est scandaleux. Si vous voulez mon avis. Oh, la PKM! Alors... Oh, il est pas content, lui. Finalement, je vais peut-être unsub. Oh non! Ah, la PKM, je crois que je l'ai pas débloqué dans ma partie perso. Ouais, t'es pas utile. Toujours pas la 29?
Snake.
Attends. Bon, de toute façon, là on va pas relancer une mission. On va aller écouter des cassettes. Bon, tout le monde a plein de trucs à dire. Vas-y, on va écouter Miller. On va finir le stream sur les discussions avec Miller.
That gives it more surface area than previous types, and also makes it easier to plan expansions. We're gonna make this place huge.
Hex, huh? Like a beehive.
Nothing wrong with that. They say the honeycomb design is one of the strongest. I hear they're even thinking of using it in tank armor.
Good enough for me. I'll see about finding us some worker bees.
Appreciate it, boss. Remember why we created MSF Snake. To provide military force to whoever needs it, wherever they are, regardless of nation or ideology. Our beliefs aren't all that lofty.
We just won't be the tools of any one country.
Exactly. We know only how to fight. But we refuse to live our lives at the whim of the state. The MSF seal is patterned after Pangaea, the supercontinent from 250 million years ago. Back then, the whole world was one landmass. One world. No gaps, no rifts.
Our strength will take us back there. What about you, Kaz? Any interest in expanding MSF?
You'd better believe it. I want to make us into an organization that doesn't take orders from any country. Just like you were saying, we have to be strong. Strong enough to defend ourselves. We need money, too. Money to train soldiers to fight. The way I see it, we make MSF into something along the lines of a new kind of business. A contractor providing the full range of military services. Not just combat, but logistics, training, weapons, outfitting, and R&D. Combining the small footprint and exceptional performance of special forces with the raw military might of a full regular army. Only with that kind of power can we break free of nation states. What I need from you, boss, is to go out and find guys we can bring back here using Fulton Recovery. Then tell us what assignment to use them for. I'll take care of the rest.
On va vraiment écouter beaucoup de cassettes parce qu'il y en a des très drôles et j'ai envie que vous les entendiez en fait. Donc vous allez en bouffer.
Your old mentor, the boss. She was known in the West as the mother of special forces, right?
Nothing but propaganda.
Actually, it's not all that far from the truth. I heard the KGB just set up a counter-sabotage cell. Alpha Group, I think they call it. There's even a rumor that West Germany created a counter-terrorist unit within its border police after the debacle at the Munich Olympics. Back home in the States, they've got the illustrious Green Berets, the SEALs, and your personal creation, Foxhound. The seeds sown by the boss are beginning to sprout. Same goes for MSF, right? In creating it, you were carrying on the will of the boss.
Yeah. She taught me how to fight the hard way. She beat it into me.
And now, thanks to her, we can take on missions other than just conventional combat. After all, we've got the same mother as the Army's Special Forces.
Oui, il y a beaucoup de contexte géopolitique, notamment sur la guerre froide. Je vous cache pas que moi, ça a été mon premier contact avec vraiment qu'est-ce que c'est la guerre froide. Et c'est ce qui a fait un peu naître une passion sur le sujet.
Costa Rica isn't alone. All of Latin America is getting swept up in the superpowers' Cold War. The whole ideological split between East and West. In the end, it's just a greedy scramble for wealth by the ruling classes. The Western bourgeois stand to lose everything if their countries go communist. After all, the communists want to abolish private property altogether. So the capitalist rulers desperately tried to halt the global spread of communism. Hence the phenomenon of red baiting. And the communists, for their part, didn't exactly stay true to their principles. They tried to escape class-based society, but between Stalin's autocracy and the rise of the nomenklatura, they ended up creating one anyway. Once people have power, they stop caring about equality. That's where communism, where society in general reaches its limits. The rulers only care about their own gain. The opposing side becomes a risk factor that threatens the profit, and thus the ongoing struggle between capitalism and communism was born.
And now, nuclear deterrence is part of the picture.
Exactly. They say nuclear weapons are the reason we haven't seen conflict on a global scale since World War II. The thought that your opponent might launch nukes against you sort of makes it tough to start an armed conflict, especially now that they've got intercontinental ballistic missiles. Nowhere is safe.
Of course, all that has caused military expenditures to skyrocket.
Well, the only way to ward off a preemptive strike is to flaunt your own nuclear stockpile, and that's caused their numbers to increase exponentially. Not just with regards to destructive power, but in terms of targeting technology too. Now they can hit a target halfway across the world with pinpoint accuracy. In a way, the space race was a demonstration of that technological progress.
And as a result of all that, we now have mutually assured destruction.
It's the ultimate form of deterrence. No one's going to launch their nukes knowing they'll be obliterated in return.
I don't know. The chance of somebody hitting the button by mistake is never zero.
You're right. Even with peace guaranteed by MAD, there's always the risk of an accident.
Nobody wants the world to end on account of some machines malfunctioning.
On the other hand, thanks to deterrence, we haven't had a world war since 1945. You gotta admit, it has been pretty peaceful.
Not that it matters to us.
People point at the nuclear arms and space races and call it a Cold War. I say if they're not shooting at each other, why not call it world peace?
Doesn't mean war is gone. Look at Korea. Look at Vietnam.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking in relative terms here. Besides, if war died out completely, we'd be SOL.
We're not warmongers.
And yet, we can't survive in a world that's at peace.
You got a point.
Imagine un gars renverse son café sur le bouton à la fin du monde nul. Mon Dieu.
So it's been more than 10 years since the Cuban Missile Crisis, huh?
I don't think we'll ever forget it.
No kidding. Those 13 days starting October 15th, 1962, were probably the closest we ever came to all-out nuclear war. The Russians deployed nuclear missiles to Cuba. America responded with a naval blockade. Then Russia shot down an American spy plane. I was still a teenager back then, but I remember what it felt like to be one step away from nuclear war. The adults were freaking out.
If it wasn't for the Cuban Missile Crisis, there might never have been an Operation Snake Eater. And...
What's the matter, Snake? It's not like you to get all hypothetical.
I guess not. It was the reassessment after the missile crisis that paved the way for the hotline between Moscow and Washington, and also for détente. That's irony for you.
The Treaty of Tlatelolco was enacted to make Latin America into a nuclear-free zone. It bans the testing, use, manufacture, production, acquisition, storage, and deployment of nuclear weapons. The impetus was pretty obvious. The series of crises triggered by the deployment of nukes in Cuba.
Not hard to imagine. Those 13 days had the whole world frozen in fear.
Of course, the country that started it all, Cuba, hasn't actually ratified it yet.
Still, the treaty's backed by over 20 countries. Anyone flouting it risks becoming an international pariah.
True. Opinel would investigate, no doubt. I heard they used Japan's 3 non-nuclear principles as their model when they drew up the treaty. I think the Treaty of Tlatelolco might have been their way of asking nuclear powers not to use nukes against them. That's the biggest difference between the treaty and the 3 principles. I guess you could call it a 4th principle.
So Costa Rica abolished its army back in, 1949? Pretty gutsy move for a Central American nation at the time.
Yeah, well, they'd just come out of a civil war. I'm sure they were driven by a desire to avoid another tragedy like Paz said. But I think they had a more compelling reason. Army coup d'etat are a way of life in so many Latin American countries. Imagine seeing that up close.
No army, no coup. Makes sense.
Plus, their economy was in ruins. So they honestly didn't have any money to spend on an army anyway.
Yeah, but weren't they on less than friendly terms with Nicaragua?
Yeah, and in fact, Nicaragua did end up invading. But the Civil Guard fought back and the OAS brokered a ceasefire. The US and the rest of the OAS had their back, and they used it to full advantage. For a quarter century, they survived in the powder keg of Central America. That must have taken some serious diplomacy. Even if the Civil Guard is pretty decked out for a police force.
Must be tough to be a country without an army.
On va finir le chapitre situation en Amérique centrale.
Hey Snake, mind if I ask you something?
Since when did you start asking permission?
So, you used to be part of a CIA paramilitary unit, right?
That's right.
Ever do any ops in Central America?
No, not personally. But there were other units who did all kinds of stuff.
I remember the Bay of Pigs invasion back in '61. The papers had a field day with it.
Operation Zapata. That was the CIA code name. The whole thing went south.
Then there was Che Guevara, being hunted down in Bolivia. I heard the CIA had a hand in that, too.
There were several units similar to mine. MSP, SOG. They'd recruit former special forces, train them as intelligence agents, and send them on deniable covert paramilitary operations. One of those units trained the Bolivian army in counter-guerrilla tactics.
And then had them shoot El Che.
So the story goes.
Around here they say La CIA instead of CIA, huh?
Nothing strange about it. That's how it's pronounced when you read it in Spanish.
It has the feminine noun ending a, so they use the article la. Apparently some people have taken to using the term UCLA.
That's a new one to me. What's it mean?
It stands for Unilaterally Controlled Latino Assets.
Meaning they're local agents?
Yeah, that's the idea. Washington uses them like pawns. Nobody knows who they really are or what they're doing.
Et ce sera tout pour aujourd'hui. Hop, on retourne à la Mother Base. Merci d'avoir suivi cette nouvelle VOD de Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. J'espère que ça vous a plu, YouTube. On se retrouve très bientôt pour la suite. Si vous avez aimé la vidéo, aimez la vidéo. Si vous avez aimé la vidéo, laissez un commentaire sous la vidéo. Et si vous avez aimé la vidéo, abonnez-vous à la vidéaste et on se voit à la prochaine vidéo. Salut!